and everything over here. That's funny. Well, anyway, so this is back to George's bad movie reviews. And I'm talking about this original Prime movie, The Bluff. Now, this one is set in pirate times. I forget what year they said it was supposed to be in. But it came out February 12th. It came out in 2026. This thing, they call it a swashbuckling action film, but it was more like just a feminist revenge film. Yes, you're right. I didn't like it. We're going to talk about that. Now, this movie was set where the girl was taken as a teenager to be a pirate. And it turns out that she's 130 pounds, throwing around men that were 210 pounds, 300 pounds. There was nothing realistic in this movie, not even the crocodile that they had in there, or alligator, whatever the hell they were trying to make it look like. That wasn't even realistic. That you could clearly tell that was animatronic. The lady's name was Elizabeth. She was like 130 pounds and throwing people around and killing men that were 3 times her size. They called her Bloody Mary in the movie, and it didn't fit. There's nothing realistic about this movie. I'd recommend you don't watch it. You'd leave this thing alone, and just like a couple other movies that have come out, we're going to talk about some of that next, because I got a TV show that I've been trying to watch, but I can't really watch it. And I found out some interesting news about that. But this one, the story is that her old partner, boyfriend, when she was 18, when she stole his gold and left, is out looking for her. Then he finds another pirate ship with 4 pieces of that gold that he's looking for. And then he ends up figuring out where it came from the guy through torture, and then he goes to the island where she's at. Elizabeth in France, Farsi. She escapes and she goes and hides in her house, and basically they make a 400-yard musket ball shot dead on every time, which wouldn't be true. Musket balls don't fly in a straight line. They're just little round balls. They fly worse than a golf ball. Golf balls are designed to fly straight because of the little ripples, and the musket ball don't have that. And they weren't ever shooting that far. They were shooting 300 feet or 50 feet. They were basically as useless as a 45 in a long-distance gunfight. But, that's just the way things are in these movies. I mean, this feminist revenge theme movie is just ugly. It's not a very good movie whatsoever. And, if you end up watching it, please put in the comments below what you thought about the movie, and we can talk about it down there. But, it just, once they found her on the islands, they chased her and her kids. They went to the cabin to try to kill her, so she put the kids down in a basement box, I guess you want to call it, a box under the house, to protect them. And she went on through and killed all the men, threw them around like they were rag dolls, which is the part I can't get with. Then once they figured out, they put the one disabled kid in a wheelchair thingy, and her guy friend, old man, whatever he was, hauled him up to a fortress, that she has, and they had to cross the alligator-infested water. So they use a half-shell bamboo boat thing with a rope going across, and then they get everybody across except for the guy. Then he has to face the pirates, and he gets killed right away, which doesn't make any sense, because you'd think they'd want to torture him to find out where she's really going, and then, she kills the guys that are gotten across the river. She don't need no man. Yeah, well, this movie's so far out out of sequence with the real life that I don't know if she was Superwoman or Superman, but because they didn't show her gaining any powers in the movie, but, she have had to make this, realistic. She had to have been a superhero of some sort, have kryptonite or, suck down some kind of magic potion. I didn't see that. So, yeah, this was a bad movie. And, I would say that these people that made this movie were really stupid on their part. And it was made by Amazon, MGM. So that tells you a whole lot. Amazon is a feminist organization in the first place. I guess the infestation of feminism in Amazon is spread to MGM Studios. And they're letting it go via Prime Video. And the Chinese are helping them do it, which is something silly. But yeah, this is a really weird movie, and it's the craziest thing in the world. I think this is even worse than what they did for the Charlie's Angels. I mean, it wasn't even like the star woman was actually worth watching. She wasn't tall, she wasn't skinny. Well, she was skinny, but they never showed her in a bikini. It was always just rags, making her look like she's a boy or a man. Yeah, so this just really doesn't really make any sense to me. She's either a superhero in this feminist revenge film, or Hollywood just got it wrong. And I think Hollywood just got it wrong. But after they crossed the river, they went up to this cave with the kids where everybody's safe, and then she come back and finished her business. I definitely recommend you don't go watch this movie, because the more of us that watch this movie, the more likely they are to put it out again, something just like it. We don't want her to put it out again just like it. So this movie is crazy, and we're going to talk about its stats as soon as I can get over to it with my mouse, because my mouse is playing games. It wants to be over here, and I want it over here, which I'm the only one driving, so it's probably right. Okay, so like I said, this was directed by MGM Studios, distributed by MGM Studios, and we got Purple Bubble Pictures, we've got Big Insider Pictures, Chester Pictures, AGBO, Harry Jackman, and Lisa. Oh, wow. This place has got all the big names in it. So anyway, they released it in China first, of course. They have to release it outside the United States to make sure it works. So February 17th, 2026, it was released in China theaters, TCL China Theater. Then February 26th, it made it to Prime Video. It made 103 minutes. It's made in the United States, India, English. Oh, wow, they went all over the place. And they're not saying how much this thing made at the box office, because it never made it to the box office. But it kind of seems like the only theater they released it in is the one in China. So they didn't release it in any theaters here in the United States. Wow, that's like a made-to-TV movie. I try not to do those, but this one is so bad that I had to. I just absolutely had to talk about this bad feminist revenge movie. So we'll talk to you later. Have a great day, and we'll see you on the other side with the next video or next movie review coming up real fast.